Thank you, Chairman Murray, and thank you and Senator Burr for holding this hearing to discuss the Integrated Disability Evaluation System, including how well it is working and what is being done to improve it. Also, thank you to our witnesses for joining us today. As we'll hear today, it's clear that the Integrated Disability Evaluation System, or IDES, is still facing real and significant challenges. Overall, it's taking more than 1 year for service members to go through this process, about 1/3 longer than the VA and Department of Defense intended. At some military bases, it is still taking much longer than that. In fact, only 18% of active duty service members are transitioning to civilian life within the agency's 295-day goal. During this time, wounded, ill, and injured service members are waiting to find out whether they can continue serving in the military or will have to build new lives as civilians. For those who are ready and able to move on with their lives, this must seem like an eternity. I think the number of service members in this process who were administratively discharged, were court-martialed, or died from unnatural causes, including suicides and overdoses, raises serious questions about what the impact these delays may be having on the personal well-being of our nation's wounded warriors. Also, I think we need to consider whether the IDS is truly setting them up to succeed after leaving the military. As the committee has been told by many service members going through this process, the uncertainty about when and where they might leave the military can actually prevent them from getting their civilian lives in order, such as buying a house, finding a school, or taking a job. On top of that, it appears that this system is not as straightforward or user-friendly as it was intended. Listen to what the Wounded Warrior Project said about the IDS process earlier this year. Our wounded warriors still encounter great difficulty in navigating a system they find to be highly complicated, difficult to understand, unnecessarily contentious, and often ponderously slow. Other words that have been used to describe IDS include adversarial, long, and disjointed. There is another hidden liability here that I think is important to note, and that is the potential impact that the backlog may have on our military readiness, particularly in a time when some in Washington are talking about drawing down our force strength. Right now, there are about 19,000 soldiers, as in just the Army, who are in this process. I am under the impression that these service members are still considered as being in the military, so that comes out of the bottom line for Army's end strength and cannot be replaced until they have completed the IDS process. Based on these and other issues we'll hear about today, it's clear that we are still a long way from actually having created a seamless transition for many wounded, ill, and injured military personnel. So I hope the committee will have a good discussion about what can be done to simplify this disability system, speed up the process for those who are ready to move on with their civilian lives. And with that, I yield back.
Thank you very much, Senator Burr.